Hey, what's going on? You're tuned into the Daily Geek right here on SweetGeek.tv. I'm your host, Griffin Granberg, and today is a beautiful Monday, August 11th, 2008. Let's get to the geek news, starting off with, oh man, I almost had a panic attack because I'm like one of the biggest CL addicts ever. And by CL, I mean Craigslist. I was on there, trying to check things out, and all of a sudden I was getting a one-line error message all the time, and I was like, what's wrong with you, computer? It turns out that Craigslist was just having a bunch of outages all weekend, so there was no reason to freak out. Hopefully they got whatever was bugging them all fixed up, and we won't have to suffer like that through another weekend anytime soon. Story number 2 is a study coming from Canada about the advertising industry and how skinny models may give people a bad self-image or make them feel bad about themselves, but as far as the company is concerned, they actually feel better about the company. And if they use like normal size models that aren't super skinny, then people actually don't think the company's as good as if it was if they used the skinny model. Very interesting study. I thought it was worth a mention. Story number 3, Daily Candy, an email newsletter that talked about what's hip and fashionable, bought by Comcast, $125 million. Crazy. Story number 4, Apple lovers, your boss has spoken. That's right, Steve Jobs came out of the woodwork finally to talk a little bit about the iPhone and the App Store, saying and confirming that they do have the capability to disable applications remotely if they ever need to pull the lever, as he's saying. He feels that it's Apple's responsibility to do so on some applications that might get past his review board or staff or whatever. He's also talking about a few different facts about how 60 million applications have been downloaded. That's approximately 2 million downloads a day. He's saying the revenue for those applications is about 30 million, and if it keeps up throughout the year, $360 million he'll make off of that. And off of the 21 million that developers got the first month of the App Store being out there in the iPhone 3G, they're saying 9 million went to the top 10. So it really matters if you get into that slot. And of course, the final little fact that Steve mentioned is he predicts that the App Store is going to be about a $1 billion marketplace. We'll have to wait and see about that. And talking about cell phones, HTC coming in with story number 6 has confirmed that they are going to have their Google Android cell phone platform, the Android platform from Google on a cell phone by the end of at the end of the year. There's a bunch of rumors saying, oh man, HTC's never going to make it this year, they're going to be delayed and what have you. HTC coming out, nope, we're going to have it this year. Story number 7, California's Supreme Court saying, basically reaffirming non-compete clauses are basically useless in the state. So again, talking about this California Supreme Court batting down non-compete clauses. Let's see here. Story number 8, Best Buy Express. You haven't seen one? Maybe you haven't been to an airport in a long time. But they're basically these vending machines for all sorts of cool high-tech gadgetry. And if you're like me, you break your headphones in the airport or the airplane, you can just go while you're connecting flights, find a Best Buy Express, and pick yourself up some new headphones right there in the airport, and not even at those crazy airport prices, because there's a lot of stores out there that want to sell you, $30 pairs of earbuds, that are really only worth about $10. So Best Buy Express is expanding throughout airports across the nation. Number 9, we want to say thank you to the software development, or not so much, for the outsourcing. India's going to have about $12 billion revenues by 2015, or at least that's what they're predicting. And finally, lots of hoopla about iPhones and app stores and Apple. They always have crazy hype stuff. But I want to say congratulations to Research in Motion, or RIM. They're the makers of Blackberry, and I am personally a Blackberry user, so I definitely want to congratulate them on 10% of the overall market is using Blackberries, and that is totally awesome. That's a 5% growth in the last year. So congratulations, Research in Motion. And that's the Geek News for August 11th, 2008. I am, of course, your host, Griffin Granberg. I'm glad to see you back here, and let's do this thing tomorrow, all right?